Hello everyone, welcome to Chemistry Lab 1. And I think you already know about me, so I won't introduce about myself in this video, okay? And in this course, we have only one TA, Mr. Jeffrey, and you can contact him if you have any question or you need any help from him, okay? And for the Chemistry Lab, this is the content of our course. So today we have the introduction, and then we will have the lab safety training course, and later I will send you the video next week, and after you finish watching the video we had a quiz for this part, okay? And later we have introduction of the lab equipment, and then we also have another quiz, okay? And then we have some experiment, so from here we can check for every week we have one experiment, and those experiments will prove what you study in chemistry, okay? But actually not all of the experiment related to chemistry one, but it's very simple, don't worry about this one. So some part we will study in detail in chemistry too, okay? And in this course we don't have midterm exam, we have only the final exam, and I will inform about the final exam later, okay? And for the instruction, so for the chemistry lab you need to submit the report, okay? So in this course I will separate you become the group, and each group you have two students, okay? So each group you have to submit one relab report, okay? Relab report, it means that the report before you come to the class, it means that you prepare for the experiment on that week, okay? And for the report, you need to use the handwriting. You cannot type by computer, okay? And then you need to write it everything by yourselves in the A4 size, and then you submit to me, okay? So we have one group, you need submit only one relab report only, okay? But the total of the report we have will be 11. So each student must write at least 5 relab report. If you don't write enough 5 relab report, so your score will be deducted. The other student can get the score, okay? But not mean that get more score, just get the score for that part, but for the one didn't write enough the relab report, so you cannot get whole score for this part, okay? And for the student cannot come to the lab, we call that one an online class. All students have to submit the relab report because you cannot come to the lab. So all of you, because for the student come to the lab, so only one report is required. But for the student who take the online class, you need to submit for each student, okay? Not only one, okay? And the second one, we have the post lab report. It means that after you finish the experiment, you need to make the report. So for the report from here, I will show you the form later. You need to record the data, and then you need to calculate, and you need to answer some question and discussion. Later, I will show you. And this one also handwriting and A4 size as well, okay? And each student must write at least 5 post lab. I'm sorry, and this one I have the mistake here. Should be the post lab report, okay? So also similar with the reverse one. So if you don't write enough 5 post lab report, so your score also can be deducted, okay? And for online class, all of the students have to submit the post lab report as well, okay? And you have to submit your report to my office T13011 before 3 p.m. every Monday, okay? So it means that if you submit your report after 3 p.m. on Monday, so you will get 0 for that report. So remember, you submit the report not only for you, for your group, for your classmate. So if you don't submit, it means that you also give 0 to your classmate, okay? So remember to follow the rule. And for the lab report, if you don't submit it, it means that you cannot do experiment on that week. Even you submit late, you get 0, but you also have to submit it. If you don't submit, you cannot do experiment, and you get 0 for that experiment as well, okay? And for online class, the student cannot come to Taiwan Tech, cannot come to my office. You can submit the PDF file. Remember, you can take the photo, but later you need to change it become PDF file, only one file. And the size of your file will be A4, the size of the paper you use should be A4 size, okay? Because later I need to ring out your report and I need to check your report, okay? And then you can submit to me by using this link, okay? And I will check it later, okay? And about rating and evaluation. So I already mentioned, right? Next week you have the lab safety training course. So we have 5% for the quiz. And then next 2 weeks you have the lab equipment and we have the quiz for another 5%. For your attendance, we have 15%. Okay, but the student cannot come to Taiwan Tech right now. You have online class, so your attendance, I think the TA, later I will inform you, the TA will live stream or record a video and send to you. You can use that video and you can make the report, okay? And for the working attitudes, so from here, I will check, I will talk about this one later, okay? And for the pre-lab report and post-lab report will be 30%. And for the group on duty, will be 5% and the final exam will be 25%. I will talk in detail later. So the total we have 100%. Okay. So I talk about attendance. So you need to come to the lab on time. You can come late or leave early, but should be less than 5 minutes. If you come late or you leave early more than 5 minutes, so you get 0% for that part for the attendance for that class. Okay. And you absent with a reason. So you may come to the hospital or you have some problem, you cannot come to the class, but you need to inform me before the class or maybe after the class, but you have some reason. And then I can give you the makeup plus. If you have makeup plus, so you can get the score again. If you don't take makeup plus, so it means that you get 0%. Okay, but you absent without reason. Maybe you didn't wake up. You still sleep during the class, and then I cannot give you the makeup class. So you will get 0% for that class for attendance, and you will get another 3% of your final score is deducted. Okay, and for the working attitudes, remember when you come to the lab, we work with a chemical, so you cannot eat, you cannot drink in the lab. So no food and drink in the lab. If you do it, you will get 0%. Okay, if you feel hungry, you can ask me, you can go out to eat or you can drink, okay, outside, not in the lab. Okay, and you need to wear the lab coat. Okay, if you don't wear lab coat, you also get 0% for the working attitude. Okay, and you also cannot do experiment if you don't have the lab coat, and you should wear the goggle, you should wear the active carbon mask, you should wear the gloves, you should wear the trouser, no short, and you should wear the shoes, no sandal. Okay, if you don't follow this part, you get 0 for that class as well. Okay, and even you also cannot do experiment for that day. Okay, and no cell phone. Okay, exception if I provide some video of lecture, so you can watch my video, but no using cell phone in the class for your safety. If you do that, you get 0% for that class. Okay, and also can check about the experiment skill. So the working attitude part, we can consider those rules like this. Okay, and the next one I want to talk about the relap report. So we have the report will be 30%, so 10% for the relap report. So I already upload this template on Moodle. So you just use this template and you write by yourself. So for the relap report, you should write the name of your experiment, and you should write your name, your number. I will send you the list, and then you should check your number. Okay, and group number, because you have 2 students in one group, right? For the student who come to the lab, because if you come to the lab and you need to submit only one report for one group, but I still need the name here because I will check how many report you write. Okay, so in this report you need to check for the safety data sheet of the chemical with the blue color only. Later I will show you the part of the blue color, because for each experiment we have many chemical, but you only need to find the information of the chemical with the blue color in my file only. So you need to write the chemical name, the physical and chemical properties, the brief description of the toxicity, okay? Because you work with a chemical, you should know about the properties of the chemical. And the second one, you need to write the experimental procedure. And this one, you need to use the block diagram, okay? So in my material, I describe what you do for step by step, okay? But you cannot copy what I provide to you. You need to make the block diagram. So for the block diagram, you can see it's easier and you can do experiment easier, okay? Example, if I write, I want to dissolve 3 grams of NaOH in 50 milliliter of the eye water, and then I get the NaOH solution. And then for this NaOH solution, I will add 50 milliliter of 1 molar HCl, and I have the reaction for 15 minutes at 30 degrees C, and I can get the final solution. And I can make the diagram like this. So the first part, if you have reactant or you have a chemical you add together, so you will use this shape, okay? And then for action, look like for disruption, so we use disrupt, the verb disrupt. So you have 3 gram NaOH, this is chemical, you use this shape, okay? And 50 milliliter of the eye water, this is chemical or reactant, we use this shape, okay? And then for the action, so we'll use the rectangular, you will draw like this, okay? And this shape you will use for the products, what you get, okay? And later you have another reaction, this one also action, you use this shape, and another reactant here, this is the products. And the condition for your reaction, maybe about the time, about the temperature, so you will put here. And later it's easy for you to see what you do in your experiment, okay? In addition, you also can draw some equipment. Example, if you dissolve NaOH in water and you use a beaker, so you can draw the beaker here, okay? So if you make it more detailed and I can understand what you want to do, and I can give you the higher score. So this one you may use the beaker and you have the water and you dissolve NaOH, something like this, okay? So it's up to you. You need to make the block diagram, and for this part you want to draw or not, it's up to you. But if you draw it, you can get higher score, okay? Make it clear. So I want to let you understand what you do for your experiment, and when you look at this and you can know what you do, that's the relab report you prepare for your experiment, okay? And the next one we talk about the post lab report. So this one will be 20%. So the first one we had the form. So the form I already upload on Moodle, and then you just follow that form. So you can bring it out and you fill the part we have from here, or you also can write everything by yourselves, okay? Also remember to write your name, your number, and group number as well. And I will write this form, and we have 80% for this file, okay? You need to fill in the data. You need to make the calculation, and then you need to answer some question there or some calculation there, okay? This one 80% in 20% of the boss lab report, and another 20% for the picture or video report. So what is the picture or video report? It means that when you do experiment, you should take the photo. Example, you have the first step, you take one photo here, and then you do the second step, you take another photo. So you can put the photo on the PPT file or the work file, and then you can write some caption. Maybe the first one, you dissolve something in the eye water, and the second part, you add some chemical, something like that. And then you will submit this photo to me, this file to me. You convert this become PDF file and submit to this link, okay? So this is the first kind of the report, the picture report, okay? So why I want to ask you to do this? Because I hope you understand what you do, and later everyone can know what you do, and you also can use this one to study when we have the final exam, okay? And the second one, if you can make the video, it's better if you make the video. Look like you record the short video for this step, another short video for this step, and then you combine together. You can make the video, but don't take whole experiment, maybe 1 hour is too long. I only accept the video with 5 minutes or less than 5 minutes, okay? And you also need to write some caption because I want to understand what you do when I watch your video, okay? And the next part, we talk about the group on duty, and you need to work with the TA. So I have the schedule here, and for the student, the group who work for that week, you need to come to the lab at 9 a.m. Okay, so you need to come earlier. Okay, and you need to prepare the DI water. You need to distribute experimental material or maybe some tool, and you need to clean up the lab and the balance room and return the chemical, or you need to dump the garbage. And you need to pour the waste liquid into some waste container because some normal chemical you can pour into the sink. It's not toxic. But for some toxic chemical, you need to pour into some specific container. So it means that maybe all of the glass will put in one beaker, and then for the group on duty, you need to put this one in some specific container, and later we have some treatment for this one because we want to protect our environment. Okay, so later when you come to the lab, so I already put the day here. So group 1 and 2 will be on this day, 3 and 4 on this day, 5 and 6 on this day, and so on. Okay, so you should remember this one. If you don't come on time for your work here, so it means that you cannot get the score from this part. Okay, no makeup, because if I give you the makeup one, it means that on that week you feel lazy, you don't want to come, and no one to repair the chemical. Okay, so you get 0 for this part. Okay, if you don't come. And in our class we have 34 students. Okay, and I have two numbers you should memorize. The first one is the group number. So group number, we have 2 students in one group. Okay, so at first actually we want to mix the local student and international student together to have more interaction between the student. Okay, but because ITB student you come too late, if I miss ITB student and local student, so some group only one student, some group with 2 students, I think it's unfair for the student. Okay, so I make the group by this list, so you just follow and you find your group member and you make the connection. Maybe you ask yeah, about the line or maybe some contact information, and later you can discuss easier. Okay, and the second one, you had the group number I mentioned in your report. All right, I use the same number in the chemistry, so you can memorize only one number for chemistry and chemistry lab. Okay, and you should check your group number and your number here. Okay, and the next one, I talk about the guideline and the report. Okay, example, I have experiment. I have the name experiment here. And the first part, we had the purpose. The purpose is mean that I show you what you will do in this experiment. So you need to know what you do in this experiment. Okay, and then you can understand what you do, what you study. Okay, the second one is the principle. Principle is mean that I provide some knowledge, some information that you need to know for that experiment. Because if you don't know the knowledge, you don't know the principle, you do experiment and you don't understand anything. Okay, so this part you should read it, and then you can understand what you do and you can answer the question in the post lab report. Okay, so the next one, we have the chemical. Ari mentioned, right? The chemical with the blue one, you should provide the information of the chemical with the blue one. For the black one, you don't need to provide information. Okay, and from here, when you come to the lab, you need to check the chemical you have. It's the same with the list or not. If you don't have some chemical, you can contact the TA to ask about that one. Okay, and about the apparatus. So from here, you also come to the lab. You also need to check what you have and which one you don't have. You should talk to the TA immediately, because if you don't talk to the TA, when we finish the experiment, we will check again. If you lost some equipment, some tool, and then I will deduct your score, or you need to buy another one to return to the lab if that one is expensive. So you should check it carefully and you keep it, and when you finish, you need to return this all of the apparatus. Okay, And the next part, we have the procedure. Procedure, I will show you step by step how to do the experiment, what you do, and you need to make it become the block diagram. And you also can use the block diagram and also can use this description to do experiment. And you see from here, I have some caution or I have some notice. So it means that that's one you should check carefully for your experiment. Okay. And I have some part with underline here. It means that that is some requirement in your report. So you need to record or you need to fill in your report during your experiment. Okay. And then I also have some question like this. This one also one kind of question in your report. So you need to bring out your report and take it to the lab. During experiment, you can fill your data or you can fill your phenomenon or you can make some simple calculation. Okay, it will be better for you if you don't record it and later when you finish and you may forget and you cannot make the report. Okay, and this one is the form of the post lab report. So from here you also can see I have some question you need to answer from the principle. You can answer the question or you also can record the phenomenon during the experiment. So you should check this form before coming to the lab. If you don't understand any part, you can ask the TA or ask me. But you should read the principle to understand, and I think you can answer the question easy. Okay. And this one also just some example for the report you will have. Okay. And also similar, we have another live group for this class because we separate the chemistry class become two groups. So we may have some other information. I don't want to bother the other students, so we make another group. So please join in this group if you take chemistry lab with me. Okay. And that's all information. And I also hope you will enjoy the chemistry lab. And safety is really important. So be careful when you do experiment with the lab. Okay. And for the student cannot come to Taiwan Tech on time, so don't worry about that one. We will record a video or we will live stream about experiment and you can see experiment. And later when you come to Taiwan Tech, if you want to check for some experiment, if I have time or I can arrange, I will let you try. Okay. And that's all. Thank you very much.